My big theory here is that instead of the Watcher helping them combat Galactus, we're gonna have him crossing paths with Loki as he's kind of doing this searching across the multiverse. As more and more of this stuff comes out, I do think that this movie will not end with the Fantastic Four leaving their universe. I think they're going to find a way to stop Galactus, but that will inevitably cause Doom to show up. Welcome back to the break room. A new Fantastic Four trailer has just dropped. So many new trailers this week, and of course this one really takes the cake. I'm Evan, and today I'm going through some of your questions, some of my theories, some of your theories. We're just gonna watch this trailer, we're gonna get into it. Very excited to see what takes people bring in the chat. I've got YouTube, I've got Twitch. You can watch us live most weekdays. So, keep an eye out, whether it's Twitch or YouTube. We're always going live, we're always making content. Lots of people supporting, whether it be Twitch subs or super chats. Thank you, Rebel Mermaid, for the sub on Twitch. And I've got some theories. I'm very interested in seeing if I'll get laughed off the internet for them. So, without further ado, let's watch this trailer together right now. Love that. Love this. This is on the EPK version, so to speak. There we go.
Wow, folks, we all know the story.
There he goes, there he goes. The first stretch. Incredible. I mean, the feet, the shaking, Galactus here on Earth. This looks great. I mean, when the first trailer even happened, it was awesome. And then just this trailer, I think, clarifying a lot of stuff. Obviously, this is, I imagine this is what they showed at CinemaCon. The confirmation that Sue is pregnant. The, with the reveal of Silver Surfer, Shala Ball, we imagine her name is, or we assume. This is awesome. I mean, this is gonna be so sick. Especially, it would be great if they got one Fantastic Four movie right. I mean, I grew up with those movies, so as a kid, I really liked that first one. Silver Surfer one, whatever. Let's see. I want to get some people's thoughts here in the chat. We had a comment from PJ Doherty from YouTube earlier saying, "Are you afraid the tone is too stoic?" That's a concern that I've seen recently. I don't think so. I think it doesn't feel too stoic to me. I think this world is going to be so bright and poppy that it could even be. I'm so curious how they balance that tone with the cast, and obviously we see Johnny like. We're gonna be the best uncles. It feels like kind of a weird line. So them being set in the 60s, I think it's just gonna be something very, very different. That's kind of a sentiment that we've been articulating before. Ferretto, thank you for the super chat saying, from the music to the visuals, this was a fantastic trailer. Yeah, right? Incredible. I know there's people in the chat or in the YouTube comments who love to count stuff. Let's see, if someone can truly count how many times I say incredible and fantastic, that'll be some interesting stuff. All right, Q YouTube on Twitch saying, I saw someone theorizing that Reed is hiding something. Makes sense with him explaining how he stretches space, maybe by interacting with the councils of Reed. Would be very cool, yes. Do we think Reed is hiding something? He does. I mean, he clearly is emitting something to Sue Storm in that scene where he says, I stretched space, yeah, I mean, let's see in the chat. What do you guys think he's hiding, or what do you think? The title of this video, at least when it went live, is what is Reed searching for, right? He's clearly searching for something that draws Galactus's attention. I'd love to just clarify, Evan was right. We did this video last week. I kind of posed that theory then. I don't know if anyone else said it before. They probably did. But I'll just say, we get a lot of these was right things. And, this is, I'm very excited. He made a device like the Kang device, but it malfunctioned, suggests Drogo. I like that theory. But why is he doing that, right? Why is he trying, what is he searching for to even make the multiverse, to stretch across the multiverse, so to speak? Straight Whisperer asking, I was trying to track Sue's pregnancy. She has a bump when Shala Ball first comes, then she isn't suited up for space, and in the last shots, she's suited up and no bump. Is Franklin born during that time? It's a good question. I think some stuff might be bouncing around a little bit. I'm curious what things we think are the damage is like happening because of Galactus or because of something else. But I want to get back to the main question here. Shree's highlighting a message. This is a good point. The stoic aspect is mainly just the comic accurate Reed Richards guilt, so I'm loving that. Yeah, I really think that I think Council of Reeds is a good thing, right? Because if Sue is pregnant, he's looking for perhaps, might be some complications with Franklin's birth. In the comics, they go to the negative zone to get something from a nihilist to help the birth, kind of go accordingly. Perhaps there's something here with that going on, that he's searching for something. Maybe he, comes in contact with the Council of Reeds and they're like, well, you need to get Galactus here in order for this to happen. PJ Doherty, maybe an accidental incursion. I think that is very true, right? Well, we've been speculating a lot that the Fantastic Four are trying to leave their universe, so to speak. I think Reed is always concerned about, trying to protect his family, right? And and making sure everything works for them and, trying to help the greatest amount of people possible. But, sometimes he acts in his self-interest. So it's going to be really interesting to see like what kind of, what path they go down here. Because I think it's got to be something with Franklin's birth and making sure that happens. Giddy Nerd saying, considering Sue may be wearing a ring with the Reality Stone, what other Infinity Stones, if any, may show up? That's interesting. Wearing a ring with the Reality Stone. I didn't say that 5 times fast. I don't know. I wonder if that's even the case. I think what if it's just a stone that's a similar color? TLC236 on Twitch saying, I've heard theories that Reed was holding the ultimate nullifier there. Okay. When Reed is stretching, you can see Galactus' boot destroying the building that he's going towards. Pull that up, Mikayla. Let's look at that. Alicia VP, I think Sue's pregnancy is high risk because of her baby. He's reaching out to a universe that has mutants for more information. I think last week, Gina, Brandon, and I did a video about Fantastic Four stuff. We theorized that maybe there's a world where this universe could be the same as the universe that Beast and Monica Rambeau are in, and Photon, or Maria Rambeau as well. I forget which name she's going by in that specific moment, but it wouldn't make sense because there'd have to be a lot of jumping around there. Alex B sitting in his $10 super chat saying, I think he's hiding the fact that he's gotten a lot of their inventions from other universes' reads, which is why the trailer started with people thanking them for all those things. Alex, I love that theory, that he's stealing, that he's maybe a fraud. I mean, Brandon had this theory that he that maybe this read couldn't stretch. I still love that theory. I would love that if this was a dream, that he was just trying to stretch. But yeah, I really love that if he's been stealing other things, which would mean he's trying to preserve his world because he's made it perfect with Galactus's protecting it from Galactus eating it. Shane the Pain saying, I don't know about y'all's timelines. I'm trying to figure out how Karen got to New York so fast. Shane, that's a great point. Watch yesterday's Daredevil video. Partial Mouse TVV, thank you again for the bits. I think I lost your question, so make sure if you're doing a question, at Breakroom NR if you're on Twitch, at The Breakroom if you're on YouTube. It's a little bit easier to see. Berg's in the chat as well, helping out.
I have him stretched out. If you
okay, let's see it. Yeah, I guess that looks like a boot. What if, hot take, they change the CGI, it's actually just a monster.
You're talking about in the top left?
Yeah, top left. Yeah, that looks like Galactus's boot that we see at the end.
Yeah, I think it has to be, because if you scrub to the end, he's wearing like high top combat type boots, right? Here, I'll scrub to.
Yeah.
I guess you can't tell.
Yeah.
Could be.
I mean, it looks like the way the armor is kind of like laid out. Maybe this read is out here like Gilderoy Lockhart, just not a smart fraud. FC Calamity, I like that theory. Berg, I'm gonna need your help because I gotta walk away for a second. All right. here we go. So what if, okay, so okay, here's my theory, right? You can't really even see the 616 on there, but we'll just say 616. Right? Okay. And Loki's holding everything together, right? Actually, Loki's holding everything together, but Reed's reaching out. You know, we really can't see anything. I think I need another marker. Try the red?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't believe you.
Wow.
All right, well, Mikayla's right.
Mikayla is always right. Let the chat know.
I think it's mostly the lighting.
Yeah, you might be right.
Okay. Anyways, so Reed's stretching out. He's stretching. He's looking the same way I'm stretching for the theories here. But Reed is stretching from his universe across the 616. I think, Marvel released these comics to read before Fantastic Four. When the trailer, when the teaser dropped, they released these group of comics to read. And so 2 of them are kind of like origin stories for the Fantastic Four. These 3 in the middle are, Galactus arriving, their first encounter with Galactus. And so, in encountering Galactus, they have to, to take him down. They send the Human Torch on a mission, kind of across space. The Watcher is helping them out, trying to get him out there to get this weapon to take down Galactus. It's very interesting reading it all through, kind of for the first time today, trying to parse through how they're going to work this out into the MCU, because we know that there isn't going to be like a Doom, or Matt Shakman, the director, said that there won't be Doom in this movie, or at least they're not choosing to spend a ton of time on him, which, we can debate forever. It's interesting that, he goes on this journey. I feel like with the Watcher kind of helping them out, kind of helping them stop Galactus. We have Reed in the trailer saying he's stretching across things. And, I do think that there's going to be my hot take, or my big theory here is that instead of the Watcher helping them combat Galactus, helping Reed expand his mind beyond what he, knows from his universe or whatever his multiverse is, we're gonna have him crossing paths with Loki as he's kind of doing this searching across the multiverse. We're going to have him stumble across Loki, who is, collecting all the branches of the different timelines and pulling them together. And he's gonna be like, "You need some help? You need a little help." And so that's kind of, as more and more of this stuff comes out, I do think that this movie will not end with the Fantastic Four leaving their universe. I think they're going to find a way to stop Galactus, but it's going to be because of the multiversal things that they're doing, and that will inevitably cause Doom to show up. So, what do you guys think about that?
That's a great point you just made about the show we're watching. And before we get to our next point, I'd like to thank one of our sponsors today, which is Mando. Spring is in the air and the weather's heating up. And that means we're all remembering exactly what we smell like when it's hot outside. If you don't want a bubble of body odor announcing your presence, try sticking it to your stink with Mando. Mando's whole body deodorant comes in 3 forms: invisible spray, solid stick, and invisible cream. It's clinically proven 72-hour odor control, so it's perfect for long Saturdays at the beach, Sundays at the park, and Monday mornings when you just want to smell good. Mando stops odor before it starts, and it's safe to use on your entire body, pits, package, and feet, and everywhere in between. Mando comes in 4 cologne quality scents: Bourbon Leather, Mount Fuji, Pro Sport, and Clover Woods. Personally, I really like the Mount Fuji. It smells the best in my pits. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, and 2 free products of your choice, like their mini body wash and deodorant wipes. And it also comes with free shipping. As a special offer for our listeners, new customers get $5 off their starter pack with our exclusive code. That equates to over 40% off your starter pack. So use code BREAKROOM at shopmando.com. That's SHOPMANDO.com. please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando.
Phillits offering another theory. I believe Reed will discover the council as he tries to find a solution for Galactus after the first Silver Surfer alert to Earth, which we saw in the trailer. Also, it's not a council of Reeds without Ian Gruffin. Bring my boy back. That's true. Oliver DaCosta saying, when the Earth is exploding, the Fab Four fly to it. Why? When the Earth is exploding? I mean, I imagine that they're saving them. This theory is a real stretch. Hey, aren't they all? I think that is the most interesting thing, right? Like, how will Reed end up connecting with the other? I mean, that's the thing that we've been theorizing about for months, right? And will continue to until this movie comes out. How does it all get connected, and who is the catalyst for that? Obviously the most likely case seems to be Reed. I mean, there's another great line in the trailer where he says, we don't have enough time. And so I wonder, it does feel like someone is going to present another option to them. Kind of like, it might feel cheap, like Deus Ex Machina. But I don't know. I think that there's something there about like trying to get that trying to expand their limits of what they know in the universe here. Baptist Cervantes saying the Penrose diagram doesn't show 4 universes, it's 2, a black hole and a white hole. Interesting. So even if Reed finds another universe, he finds a universe, do we think that this Reed is specifically then, off this theory, looking for a universe without a Fantastic Four, so that they can inhabit the role that they have been playing in their own universe? Nacho Gaming saying Reed is contacting Shang-Chi through the 10 rings. There's a thought. Scoop Ball saying, what if he was searching across universes for an escape plan? If all else fails, he saw Galactus coming and knew there wasn't a chance he couldn't stop him. Yeah, I think that's a very valid theory. I think that is the most likely answer. I'm just trying to be like, what are the alternatives here? What are the different ways we could go about this? Doom is always out there waiting to walk in with muddy shoes seconds after the Fantastic Four are done mopping. Great articulation, Shri. What if this is Maker Reed's origin story? Iceman Matt asked. I would love that. I think it would be a lot for casual audiences, especially with the amount of movies we have left to end the multiverse saga. Big quotes. But I would love that. I mean, also like the theories of Miles Teller coming back as a Maker type Reed are also awesome. Would be so cool. Where are they suiting up to go when the guy asks if they'll be okay? Asks Emmanuel. I think that they're likely going to go out to space in order to find something to stop Galactus. Maybe all 4 of them go on this journey with whoever that sends them across the multiverse or across space to try and find this weapon to stop Galactus, be it the Watcher, be it Jeffrey Wright's The Watcher, or be it Loki. Matthew P. saying, I don't know what's happening, but Birdie's gonna save the day. Yeah, so Natasha Lyonne, we know, is cast in this movie. Birdie, she has voiced Birdie in What If. I really think Birdie is gonna be in the movie now. Because as much as I would love my tinfoil hat Loki theory to happen, I think it's gotta be, if the Watcher shows up, he'll just be like, hey, and here's my friend Birdie to help you. And I think it'll be pretty cool.
Hey, as someone who didn't watch the What If series, who's Birdie?
Oh no, Mikayla. Mikayla, you can't just ask who's Birdie. This is I
take that question back.
Oh God, who is Birdie? All right, best explanations in the chat for Birdie. Let's go. I'll read them out. Harsh Bamani saying Birdie dies at the end of the movie. Oh no, come on. We need Birdie. We need Birdie to live. Okay, so here's explanations about Birdie, JIH1129 saying, you see, when a woman really loves a duck. IL saying, Howard the Duck and Darcy's love child. Short Sackham and Duck and Humans love child. Christian Brown's love child, Darcy and Howard. Melty Trail, Birdie is a Disney princess. Canonically, probably. There's lots of Rogue with Birdie wings. Oh my God. Birdie, the best character since Endgame? Yeah, let's go. Birdie is a baddie? Okay. Please don't talk about Birdie. Listen, Birdie is the one that's going to take down the Silver Surfer. I think that's what... Can we also pull up the Silver Surfer? Just one of the close-ups on her, and we'll go through it. But I think Birdie's going to win. I think Birdie's going to say... Birdie appears in post-credit scene, and she says, you know, the universe is much bigger than you think. And that's what it's going to happen. Yeah, I think she looks great. I think it's going to be really cool to see the Silver Surfer in action. You know, obviously, you know, mileage on the second movie may vary, but the effects do kind of look pretty good for that Silver Surfer and Rise of the Silver Surfer. It'll be cool to see what it looks like now with updated VFX. And also, like, you know, how much of an antagonist will the Silver Surfer be prior to Galactus coming down and saying, fine, I'll do it myself, you know? But Emmanuel was saying, I think Mole Man is going to be the opening villain like Batroc and Winter Soldier. Yeah, I think there's going to be a rogues gallery of villains. Like, I do think most of the different casting that we've heard about people like John Malkovich and Paul Walter Hauser, I believe there's one more name that I'm missing. I mean, even Natasha Lyonne, they all could be playing villains that the Fantastic Four faces off against. Perhaps they get loose at one point if either the Silver Surfer releases them for some reason or Galactus, you know, descending on Earth releases them and they have more to deal with. But perhaps Natasha Lyonne still is Birdie and then helps them stop with that, helps them confront that conflict. Garrett Bridges says, someone call 911 because Evan is killing the game. Oh, interesting. John Malkovich's old Reed, Tankenstein 42. Okay, so there's a lot of, that's a good point. There's a lot of timey stuff there's potential for. Right, Reed says, we don't have enough time. He also says, we're stretching the bounds of space, blah, blah, blah. Franklin Richards, we know Sue's pregnant. Franklin Richards, an older version of him does kind of like come back and forth through time, and if I'm remembering correctly. And so I do wonder if we could see, whether it be time travel, whether it be dipping into different universes or multiverses, this kind of happening. And John Malkovich would be kind of interesting casting for that. Subterranea is in this trailer at 137 in the trailer, it says Q YouTube. Mikayla, pull up 137. Around there. I think we might be, it might be earlier for us, if I'm thinking correctly. Well, the coolest person you don't know asking what will end the Fantastic Four universe? Galactus or an incursion, unless somehow they make them the same thing. That's an interesting question. Making them the same thing, I think will... Well, okay, how would that work, right? So if Galactus causes the incursion, that means he would also not have to have been there. So Reed was never supposed to do a thing that calls Galactus's attention. Man, and as much as I love kind of like thinking about all of this stuff too, it's like, how can it fit in the movie? You know, the movie's only gonna be 2.5 hours or so. So yeah, I wonder. Jesse Williams saying, the Baxter building is designed just like the TVA. Since Kang is a descendant of Reed, is it possible that Kang knew about this universe and what happens to it? Yeah, I think that's totally possible. I mean, I don't know how much Marvel Studios wants to kind of acknowledge Kang at this point. I actually just, you know, because of this goofy Loki theory, I did rewatch the ending of Loki just today, and I was like, man, what a good finale. If you haven't seen that finale in a while, go watch it. But I do think it might come into play, or at least some link, right, that will get Doom to kind of take over the Kang kind of position. Even though the character of Kang, I think had a lot of potential that maybe they squandered and maybe were trying to do a little bit too much for it. Diego Capero saying, how does Franklin Richards play a part in all this? I mean, I think at base level, the birth of Franklin Richards will be a complicated process. And that whatever they are looking for and looking to do will ultimately be something that causes them to causes Galactus' attention to be directed towards Earth. Soviet Falco sending in a super chat saying, I'm so positive someone said this already, but what if Galactus is actually trying to save the universe? Homeboys from a previous universe, right? What if he noticed Reed was getting a little too crazy with power and is resulting in the universe collapsing? I think that's a great take. I mean, we don't know how this Fantastic Four became this like kind of big figure, you know, in the in this world where in interviews and stuff, they've said that the Fantastic Four has solved most of this Earth's problems. But how did they become at the forefront of this? And as people in the chat were speculating before, what will could this read have been stealing from other reads or working with other reads to prop this universe up to be perfect? But in that process, could cause an incursion, and maybe Galactus is like, we gotta stop this guy.
That point was so good, it makes me want to take a nap. And if I was going to take a nap, I'd be napping in some awesome Miracle Made sheets. Miracle Made makes sheets that are keeping us sleeping at the perfect temperature all night, every night, as summer starts to begin here in LA. Sure, it's still spring, but it feels like it's as hot as summer. These sheets are crazy comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands. Miracle Made's fabric was inspired by NASA, so it's thermoregulating, keeping your bed at the right temperature all year long. Plus, Miracle Made sheets are infused with silver. That prevents bacterial growth. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne, so sleeping with Miracle Made sheets is good for your skin too. Upgrade your sleep as the weather heats up. Go to trymiracle.com/breakroom to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code Breakroom at checkout, you'll get a free 3-piece towel set and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/breakroom and use the code BREAKROOM to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/breakroom to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring today's video.
Towards the end of the trailer, there is a quick shot of the Fantastic Four spaceship heading towards a planet that looks like it's exploding. What do we think is happening there? Oh, that's like them going to Earth. Yeah, play it. Roll that back just a little bit. Let's play it. Is this Evan just talking about Birdie? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I mean, I think they messed up. Maybe they were gone in space too long. They said, oh no, we interstellared ourselves and we lost 2 days or 2 years up there. Alicia VP16 saying, I would love for Scarlet Witch to meet Franklin Richards to just talk about the mental torture of constantly and inadvertently changing realities. Yeah, that would be fun. Not enough room for those interactions in the movies anymore, you know? That is Reed stretching. Yeah, Mark, I believe that's Reed stretching. I do, I personally love the theory that we said last week that this Reed can't stretch. This Reed can't stretch. And, I love it if he was just dreaming about stretching. Surely that's another Earth. I don't know. Maybe they're just too late. Do you think the pole Reed is carrying the same technology as the Dark World? The pole Reed is carrying is the same technology as Thor the Dark World, asked Rhett Rod. Oh yeah, that pole. I don't know. I'd have to revisit Thor the Dark World, to be honest. What if Silver Surfer lured them out of the planet so Galactus can eat it? I think that's a very possible theory, Drogo. That's the only way that she knows how to get them off world, so to speak. Do you think there's a possibility that the Fantastic Four actually win? Yeah. I do think the idea that maybe this doesn't end with them leaving their universe is becoming more viable in my head every day, even though it seems that they're gonna lose. Because it'd be 2 back-to-back movies of them losing, right? Between that and Doomsday. Yeah, looking at that planet again and thinking about the trailer, just like in the framing of it, it does seem like maybe the 4 of them do go out and get that device that, gets rid of Galactus. I mean, maybe that is what that pole is, right? The 4 of them go on that journey instead of just the Human Torch. And they're going into an Earth that is maybe or a planet that's collapsing in order to find it. I think that's one theory around that. I feel like there's another. It would be very goofy if that is just them like time looping, like flying around on the spaceship, going back to their own planet at a crisis moment to kind of get that. Save their planet. Just a second chance. Edward the Fourth sending in a super chat saying, any chance Franklin's birth causes the incursions? Oh, that's interesting. I think maybe if they use something that wasn't the right compound or something to like help him, be birthed successfully. Maybe that's it. Yeah. I think there's a world where that happens. Oliver DaCosta saying, I think Reed and Sue are giving birth in space then. Yeah, I think so. I think that is like the easiest way to kind of like look at it. If it's not them getting something for it to happen, it's just them going back up into space to ensure the conditions are like the same. Fredo saying, I think them losing twice isn't new. Thor lost in Ragnarok and Infinity War. That's true. Yeah, I think it's when it's different when it's like a solo group like that. But I do get what you're saying with the distinction there with Thor losing back to back. The viewer is saying, I think they lose this child. Interesting. Would be quite dark for a Marvel movie if that were to happen. Emmanuel kind of saying something similar. No, the part, it looks like she's about to faint. The baby bump is gone. What is the timeline between them getting their powers and Galactus showing up? I mean, probably years, right? I think we're starting in the middle after they've already gotten their powers. They're already established as the Fantastic Four. Yeah, after they're like literally Earth's heroes. It doesn't seem like there's anyone else. Giddy Nerd asking, how does Galactus take his planets? Rare, medium, or well done? I think well done, right? Like, as in they've had a lot of time to kind of like be built up, because I don't think he wants just like just rocks. Do we think they discover the negative zone by mistake? Yes, I do think they do discover the negative zone. By mistake or on purpose. Reed could have to use the cosmic control rod, but instead of it being the negative zone, it's somewhere in space. Yeah, I think that's a good theory there, IL. Is there a reason why Reed has a different uniform than Sue and Johnny? Asked Spidey Sensei. I think it might just be different points of the timeline of when they're traveling to space, unless I'm misunderstanding. Snowden 94. I think Doom wants to travel because he will be actively trying to purge any future Kang variants. I really don't know how much they... Listen, I know as like... fans, we want the Kang stuff to come back, but I just don't know if it's gonna happen, guys. Just don't think it's gonna happen. Are there mutants in this universe? Isn't Franklin Richards a mutant? Yeah, I think it's very likely that there are mutants in this universe. Like Franklin would maybe be the first, but if there were, they're just not like known as like X-Men or heroes in that sense. Matthew in the YouTube chat saying, hi Evan, this trailer was amazing. I can't wait for it to release on my birthday. That's a good birthday movie. It's your birthday, you gotta watch Fantastic Four. And nobody will be throwing popcorn because there's no chicken jockeys in Fantastic Four, am I right? What if Galactus isn't a devourer of worlds, but a devourer of celestials? That's a really interesting theory, Marvel Pirate. There's some people in the chat that said maybe that is a celestial merging from Earth, and it would be really sad for them if it was a two-pronged thing, that they had Galactus about to eat it and a celestial also coming out of the Earth at the same time. At that point, I'm back to theory one. Their universe dies and they escape. But we'll see.
Well, that's crazy. I didn't even think about that. Ugh, that's gonna stress me out. I need to relax. And for some of us, we turn to a little 420 for relaxing. And we're not here to judge. You know, for some people, 420 is just a holiday. For others, it's a nice excuse to relax and take some me time. Whichever camp you fall into, Via has something for you. If you haven't tried them yet, you're missing out. Whether you need to unwind, refocus, or boost your mood, Via is here to enhance your everyday. Trusted by over 500,000 happy customers, Via is changing the game in natural wellness, blending powerful, high-quality hemp-derived ingredients to deliver real, effect-driven benefits. Whether you're looking to sleep better, have better libido, improve focus, recover, or simply relax, Via has a tailored solution for you. With products ranging from 0 to high cannabinoid levels, Via lets you fully customize your experience to fit your needs. Whether you're looking to support your daily wellness routine, enhance focus and clarity, or unwind with deep relaxation, Via has you covered. From their award-winning effect-forward gummies to calming drops, every Via product is thoughtfully crafted, made with organic, lab-tested hemp sourced from trusted, independent, American-owned farms. And the best part, Via legally ships across the USA, discreet, direct to your door, no medical card required, and backed by a worry-free guarantee. Not sure where to start? Take Via's product finder quiz to get your personalized recommendations tailored to your needs. It can take you less than 60 seconds to complete. So if you're 21 or over, treat yourself to Via's annual Spring 420 sale. Black Friday level savings up to 35% off site-wide right now, and up to 50% off packs and bundles, and get a free gift plus more savings with your first order using our exclusive code BREAKROOM at the link in our description. Plus, enjoy free shipping on orders $100 or over. Check it out. Thanks, Via, for sponsoring us today.
Can you answer the question of who Birdie is? Please, I don't effing know. Okay. If we really need to know who Birdie is a character from the What If animated series. It is a Darcy from Kat Dennings' character from the MCU. And Howard the Duck, in one of the What If episodes, they have a baby. And that baby is Birdie. And Birdie has superpowers. She can fly, and I think she has like laser eyes. That's it.
I didn't put that question there, but whoever asked, thank you.
Yeah. Matthew P saying, on my birthday, the 2015 movie came out. Oh, I'm so sorry, Matthew P. I watched that movie. It was fine. It was a decent cast, though. Partial Mouse, if you're still in the chat, I'll answer one of your other questions that you had. This is less to do with Fantastic Four. But do you think Battleworld will have a world with Iron Man, like with the Hulk Village, but one is being played by RDJ and the other one being played by Tom Cruise? It's wishful thinking, but I don't think so. But it is wishful. It is wishful. I'm very curious how this will all link together because it's going to be quite a lot. Does this trailer make you more excited for this than Superman? Asks Awesome Guy 2222. I feel like I'm actually more excited for Thunderbolts out of all three of those movies, just because it seems like the biggest. It's like more of a swing. I mean, this is a big swing creatively, but Thunderbolts is just like, it's like, listen, this is maybe just like an action movie. So I do want to know about that. I want to see like how. I'm very excited, right? Thunderbolts comes out in just a few weeks. I can't wait to see it. But I do think Fantastic Four and Superman feel, I don't know why, but maybe it's the colors. They feel kind of a piece. Obviously, they're both coming out, I think, in the same month. So if you had to hold it to, I don't know. I think maybe they're both new worlds. It's really hard to decide. I think I'm gonna still stick with Superman. I'll be honest. I'm gonna still stick with Superman. Jesse Williams saying instead of the negative zone, it's the quantum realm. Yeah, I guess so. I think it'll be a lot though, if they reference that. Brandon Pilato saying, do you think the Nether will show up in this movie? Minecraft crossover? One can hope. We need those piglins in here. We need those piglins, because they're the army that we're gonna need to fight Doom. Nerd Girl Jean saying, do we think the Fantastic Four could end up in the void at the end? Yes, the TVA void? Yes, I believe so. I think that, if they don't make it out of their universe, even though I'm hoping, they could end up in the void. Doom has somehow taken control of it, and he's like, I'm collecting everything because this is how I'm going to make Battleworld. Sophie Falco is saying, what if Galactus is the last Celestial because the previous iteration of that universe lost all other Celestials, so Galactus is trying to have everything chill and in order. Reed threatens the universe too much, though. I think it's very possible. I think that this is like, it just depends on how much chaos this Reed specifically is causing. It does seem like he's trying, if this is this utopia that he's propping up, maybe he's trying to kind of like silo himself off, and maybe that's why he's like trying to test the bounds of this connection and that's why he's stretching space. Captain Cannabis asking a very serious question. Is Ben 10 showing up the Fantastic Four? Yes or yes? Yeah, we get Ben 10. Ben 10 is the only other hero in here. So my thing, like thinking about like the Watcher and both the Watcher's role in the comic, like helping introduce the Fantastic Four to like how to combat Galactus and whether that is fulfilled by the Watcher or fulfilled by Loki. Both of those characters Loki obviously has a much bigger film history, but the version of Loki that is still existing, the God of Stories Loki, exists in Disney Plus show. The Watcher exists in Disney Plus show. Quite hard to know if that is enough to get audiences. It feels like Loki is an easier pull for them to be like, listen, remember Loki from the first 10 years? He's still here, even though he died in that other movie you saw. But this one's a different one. So I don't know. I kind of hope it is Loki that's teaching the Fantastic Four how to combat Galactus, and whether or not that causes an incursion because of his interference, whether or not that causes, Reed to maybe Reed sees Loki and is like trying to also counteract that. I don't know. That's maybe just like Reed, I'm stretching too far. Bumming with Bo, if they give us seamless integration of Disney Plus, Marvel TV, and the MCU by having the Void and TVA show up in F4, in the end, that would be tremendous, but I'm not expecting it. Bumming with Bo, I think that's the right expectations to have. Nil in the YouTube chat saying Ben 10 is better than Birdie. Nil, that's pretty tough. I mean, I think Birdie is probably more powerful than Ben 10, but Ben 10's got the power of the Omnitrix, so that's it's a little. It's hard to know if one alien is better than Birdie. Galactus takes his planets like I take my eggs, soft boiled, says the giddy nerd. How do you soft boil a planet? You soak it in lava? Is that it? You put it too close to the sun? Oh, do we think there's a universe where their version of the Fantastic Four is just the Incredibles? Yeah. I mean, I love when he lifts the car and all the kids are saying, lift the car, lift the car. I mean, even this one shot of the stretching, I did think it looked good, Lil Bugaboo. I thought it looked good. And I'm very excited to see if we're somehow right and this Reed can't stretch and it's a dream, listen, I'm here for it. Top 5 cameos that you think will show up in Fantastic Four. Awesome Guy 2222. Okay, legitimately, great question. Because, Matt Shackman is saying these are the only heroes, right? So if we're thinking cameos, we kind of talked about this the other day, but I'm thinking we get Chris Evans as a depowered Steve Rogers. He's just walking around. He's like, well, no war. Or we did the war, that's it. He never needed it. Who else? I'm still saying Loki. Doctor Strange would be pretty cool. Lots of people think, there was that Westview, Eric found a Westview Easter egg. If we get an Agatha Harkness, could be interesting. What's the over-under on Agatha showing up for Franklin? I think under, Marilyn. Personally, I think under. I think it's not happening. But, because it wouldn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. Flip side hero saying, how do you think they'll portray Galactus? As I know he's a force of nature in the comics, or will seem more villainous. Yeah, I think he's going to be pretty cool. I mean, also, there was this great, let me make sure if I have it. There was this great image from the comic that I thought was quite impactful. In this one, Fantastic Four Coming of Galactus, we get to see Galactus's kind of like, what's it called? His machines that he's using to sample Earth, and you see this like great, you see the art, like it's like very much like that old school style, and then suddenly out of nowhere you get this very like artistic rendering, kind of feels like a science textbook, but it looks so cool. And I would love if these things just like descended on Earth, and they're like, oh my god, we gotta stop it. And also seeing Galactus's little feet kind of go. It does feel like, he's just gonna like be there and kind of like feel like a Godzilla type monster, he's like kaiju-esque. So I think he's gonna be pretty cool. And Ralph Ineson, I mean, he voiced the Green Knight in The Green Knight. Man, that guy's voice is crazy. And it's gonna be awesome to hear booming in Dolby. What if instead of Uatu warning the Fantastic Four, it's Birdie, since she's technically a Watcher now? GSU Eagle, I think you cracked it. I actually legitimately think that's what it's going to be. Oh my god. Who's your MVP of the trailer? Reed. I think this is the most we've seen of Reed. And that's what we wanted to see him stretch, but we also get to see him feel kind of like look a little maybe guilty or kind of smug during this. So, yeah, I'm curious. Okay, anyways, Marilyn's saying Galactus licks a planet like a Tootsie Pop. How many licks until you get to the gooey lava core? If you were a Galactus-sized person and you were eating Earth like a lollipop, how many licks would it take to get to the molten lava core? 3. Whoa. Yeah, because you do 3 licks and then you bite it like the owl. Duh. Okay, that's it. Howard Stark, Logan, Bucky, Peggy. Yeah, Peggy is a good cameo, I think. Middle name Paul. Good candidate. How many tiny kisses does Galactus give Earth? 2. He does 2 kisses, 3 licks. I mean, that's a little nibble. Right? That's Galactus with a little nibble on the Earth. And
okay.
That, yeah.
Hot take.
Uh-huh.
I feel like Earth is a little bit more than a Tootsie Pop because it's like a lollipop that's been on the floor for a while. There's like stuff on it. Like
yeah.
Dust bunnies.
It's kind of hairy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it would be more than 3 only because of that.
I hate a mossy lick, Kenzie Kugler sending in some bits saying them doing an interview with nannies and one of them is Catherine Hahn. I mean, it would be great if it was like one of them was Catherine Hahn and they said none of you are right for the job. because I don't know how it fits in. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Mel Pomino saying Dominic Cooper is Howard Stark turns up as the real father of Sue's baby, and Galactus is trying to stop the birth of RDJ Doom. That is wild. That is wild. Wild theory. But I do believe Dominic Cooper could come back. Will Galactus shoot out siphoning tentacles like in the cartoons when he starts feeding? Nah, let's let him use these machines. Partial TVV. Take the bits. 3 is the correct answer, just like the commercial. Yes. Yeah, that was an educated guess. Arishem explains Earth's emergence. It looks exactly what it does in the trailer for F4. Yeah, possibly. Possibly. Yeah, I could run Earth underwater really quick. I mean, we need it. At the scale of Galactus is smooth like Neil deGrasse said. Oh, it is smooth because Galactus is so big. Earth is smooth. I would also posit it's flat. Brandon and I say this all the time. Like, there's this line from the Royal Tenenbaums where Owen Wilson is like, what my book presupposes is what everyone knows. Custer died in the Battle of Little Bighorn, but what my book presupposes is, what if he didn't? So that's the energy I'm going to. Like, what if it was flat? Just so you know, it was worth explaining that. I know it took a lot of time, and we had to do it. We want a Kaiju Galactus versus Arishem fight. Drogo, see, now that we've willed it into the world, I want it. Now I want it. And the Fantastic Four, and that's where you get Reed saying, we don't have enough time. We don't have enough time to get out of the feet of these guys stomping around, destroying stuff. What if Galactus is vegan? I think that might mean something different for him. You know, it just means something different. Yeah, so Brandon, Pilato asking, how was Galactus defeated in the comics? Well, that's a great question. Why don't we look at the comic right now? Fantastic Four 1961 number 50 that Marvel made free for you to read on. If you go to marvel.com/ff, we can see spoilers. That, you know, Silver Surfer decides to betray Galactus and is shooting him, kind of imprisoning him and stuff in this like element. We see the Human Torch on a mission. He's coming back from finding the weapon that they needed, as we see Reed tinkering with it. You must never turn the control lever to full power, says the Watcher. Can erase the entire solar system in 1 microsecond. Could it erase my credit card debt? It's really hack stuff right now. And there it is, the ultimate nullifier, the name of the weapon. In the hands of a human, and that, you know, Galactus is kind of, he's like, you know what, you guys win, I'm gonna leave, but I'm gonna like crush the Silver Surfer. So it's kind of a little, you know, you could say it's a little like the Dormammu from the MCU, you know, he just kind of outwits him. And yeah, we were talking earlier, Dom, Ella, if whether or not the Watcher, or will the Watcher's role be something else, if this is even included in the film, if there is like a kind of multiversal being. So I don't know. I personally think it might be a little bit of it wouldn't be a stretch per se. But if you want the audience to respond to a big cameo or something, you might want to do Loki. That's kind of showing them doing that. How did Johnny go to space in the comics with no oxygen? And the Watcher was kind of protecting him out there. Primal Night Train saying, I know everyone has different fighting styles, but can we get Thor to fight brutal like the Punisher? No. Sorry. I don't make the rules. Loki has to show up in the next Avengers movie. Yeah, I believe that Tom Hiddleston was on the cast list for when they did the Avengers reveal. So I can't wait to see him. As we wind down this very goofy video, I hope you all had fun. Thanks for watching along this trailer with me. Thanks for sending in some of your thoughts. Thanks for kind of telling me my theory was out there. But hey, what's Fantastic Four without a little stretching, am I right? Follow the Breakroom at YouTube and Twitch. Follow us on all the social channels. And we'll catch you next time. See ya.